front four to take advantage of this decimated Saint line.
Dink and dunk right now for the Saints, although Kamara makes it a much bigger game with the run after the catch.
They got to do something on this drive.
2nd and 5, and going down the field, and what a catch! There it is, Tony, right as you ordered it. Kamara with the catch.
In Tampa and Drew and Matt Ryan in Atlanta, God, you got to be on your game almost every week.
Well, Kamara certainly on his, as he takes it in for a Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara with his first NFL score.
2nd down, looking to Kamara again. They swing it to him in the flat. It's a good block. Kamara, look at the speed, and a first down for New Orleans. He's down to the 41-yard line. Josh Hill threw him a great block. 3rd and goal, New Orleans. Breeze, a little shuttle pass. Kamara inside the 5. Touchdown!
Or not unsolicited advice, by the way.
2nd and 9 to give right up the middle. Kamara carrying tacklers for the first down.
You bring in that formation to think you're going to make them think you're going to run, but they run a toss.
And that toss is going to go for the first down and then some. Alvin Kamara on the carry. It's falling just short last week, but it went from a blowout to a real ball game very quickly against Carolina as Alvin Kamara puts his head down and dives to the 15. That's a gain of 12. Red zone opportunity for Drew Brees and the Saints here. 1st and 10. Kamara in the backfield, and it's Kamara with the give. You can see the speed as he hurls a man down to the 2-yard line. Jumps right over Darius Slay.
A lot of ways for Morgan Burnett to make plays at safety and linebacker.
On 2nd and 9, it's the rookie Alvin Kamara. Clinton Dix hardly ever leaves the field, so they're going with the safety. As Breeze sets up the screen, it's Kamara, and he will pick up a first down.
The backfield. Kamara on the pitch. Kamara in the end zone for a touchdown.
Need to try to maybe take a few chances here to create a turnover.
5 wide receivers in on 1st down for Drew Brees, and Brees taking a chance, going down the sideline to his running back, Alvin Kamara.
He wouldn't be the first guy to try and hide New Orleans. That's caught by Kamara. He fumbled his last touch. Look at this rookie staying on his feet up to the 24.
Campbell's locked up.
Right, 1st down, they set up a screen to Kamara, and he's inside the 20. Cuts it back to the inside, still on his feet inside the 10. Kamara with a touchdown. Kamara back into the game, over 100 yards from scrimmage, and a big touchdown in the 1st half, and this one to the 22-yard line. Since the opening quarter, up until that touchdown a moment ago. And now turning the corner is Kamara, who has had a monster day. And he'll just take a knee at the 42-yard line.
There's the, whatever comp winners have to deal.
The toss to Kamara on 3rd down. Kamara has a first down and is tackled at the 3 by Micah Hyde. Down. Breeze swings it out. It's Kamara. And again, you get the ball into the hands of Kamara, and then he makes something happen. He picks up the Saints' first down. All right, thanks, Christina. Replaced by Eddie Yarbrough. On the toss, it's Kamara. Kamara inside the 10. Out of bounds at the Buffalo 5. More yards than the Bills have on offense all game. 1st and goal from the 5 on the toss. It's Kamara, and he is in for a touchdown.
Worse since this game has gone on.
Now it's Kamara, found a big hole for the Bills 40.
Talk about rhythm and offense, that's what it is.
Kamara again, another first down. 6 first downs the last 7 plays.
Greg Minuski's done a good job losing Foster, Compton, Jonathan Allen, their first-round pick out of Alabama. Kamara gets it, looking for a big run, and he's going to be brought down just short. Zach Brown, the linebacker, was completely lost in coverage on that one. Breeze, Kamara, touchdown after a juggle. Alvin Kamara, the rookie, take a seat in the stands. The Saints. Toss to Kamara, looking for a block. Alvin Kamara ties it.
You never know what to call based on personnel.
Kamara, look at Kamara go. Look at Kamara past the 50 and racing down the sideline. They can't get him. He breaks it for the touchdown. 74 yards, the longest play of the rookie's career.
You got to rectify that.
Wade Phillips trying to figure things out. He usually does for that defense. Tossed over to Kamara. Gets out of traffic. Look how many Rams he was able to dodge and move around to pick up the first down gain of 6. Kamara, the running back. Swing it over to him. Barwin trying to make a tackle. Kamara too quick and too shifty. And he's got another first down and he's still going.
I also think that you should just turn and throw it to the... There's plenty of time to run the ball and everything still, but keep being aggressive.
From the 40, new set of downs off the penalty. Tossing it over to Kamara. No one gets him on the first hit. Look at the hurdle now. Yes, they used to have track and field here for the Olympics.
Oh, the tight split formation. No one's out wide. Everyone's tight.
Breeze completes it. Kamara taken off. Flag down. He's tripped up at the 4 by Johnson.
He keeps going there and keeps going there, and they put a guy high and low. Offsides.
Yeah. That'd be a free play here for Breeze. Kamara, touchdown. Can even slow down to a jog to take it across.
Well, here we go.
On first down, Breeze slides through. Kamara makes a man miss. That was Coleman, out of bounds near the 10. Second and 4, Kamara. Another big run. He makes it look easy. Touchdown, Saints. Basically going to be fighting an uphill battle. I don't think they're going to be able to overcome. Here's Kamara, right side, breaking tackles into Carolina territory. A 17-yard carry. The Saints, they went on one heck of a run. And even now, Kuechly out on the edge. Kamara makes the play and has a first down. Another big one for Kamara. Leaps down inside the 30. Alvin Kamara lines up right on the 3 in 2nd and 3. Against a 4-man rush. There he is in open space. Kamara, big gain. 2 plays, 30 yards. First down, New Orleans.
Second down and 17 now, back to the 46. With the empty backfield, here they come on the blitz. Jenkins is chasing the quarterback, and here's Kamara. He's always open, isn't he? He's always open. Somehow, some way, Claiborne shoves him out of bounds.
And based on the coverage, I mean, that's the experience, the knowledge, the wisdom that a veteran quarterback like Breeze gives you at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 6, Kamara, touchdown. 10-yard touchdown pass. 3 New Orleans possessions. 3 New Orleans scores.
Incredibly versatile. On a second down, 4-man rush. Breeze going to let it fly. He goes for Kamara, and he holds it in. Right to the rookie for a huge pickup.
For the dagger shot here. He wants his best out there right now. Wants to start the second half off with a bang.
Is he going to take it out regardless? Yes, he is. Kamara up the middle. Kamara makes a move. Look at this. Alvin Kamara gets by Bosher. Well, that worked.
Probably an MVP candidate this year, Drew Brees.
Which, by the way, he has never won the league's most valuable player award. And this is Kamara, their outstanding rookie. And look out here. Kamara's off to the races. Across the 50. Inside the 30. And he will take it to the house. A touchdown. 106 yards for Alvin Kamara. Trying to take their first lead of the game, and it will be Kamara into the end zone. That was a Kamara drive after he returned to kickoff for a touchdown. Kamara, a couple of catches, and now a touchdown.
And he picks the brain of Drew Brees constantly.
Second down, and Brees steps up and is looking for Kamara, and what a throw and what a catch by Kamara. Down to the 25-yard line, he beat Levante David.
They're going to go. 4th down and 2. Brees throws. Pass is picked. And they are going to give the interception to Mike Adams.
Let's see if Drew Brees can settle in and get something going.
Here is Kamara. Gets 10. Just got it away. The pass is caught by Kamara. What a catch and a run for a first down. He is phenomenal. 2nd and 16, setting up a screen for Kamara. Good blocking and a first down at the 50. Kendricks lost his helmet in a big play, a catch and run of 23. End zone. Pass is caught for the touchdown, Kamara.
Ready, waiting,
After a pickup of 4, first down catch Kamara. Up the sideline and into Buccaneer territory. Inside the 35-yard line of Tampa Bay. At the bottom to take the snap. Handoff straight ahead. And a touchdown Saints, Alvin Kamara. A little bit of a distraction on the Buccaneer defense, and whatever it was that Sean Payton called, Kamara punches it in. Left of Brees. Top of your screen. He has the football. Puts a move on. It's got a first down. Kamara down the sideline and knocked out of bounds. Let's snap it and get in the end zone is what Brees is saying. And it's Kamara for a touchdown Saints. Where's that been all game is what, or at least since the early first half. They're going to go for 2. You saw the signal from Brees.
ready, you ready, what's that?
Kamara, and he gets 2. And it's now 48-32.
Mike by me, from Omaha.
2nd and a yard. Flag flies. In the end zone for a touchdown is Alvin Kamara. Check the flag.
Ready, waiting, shot.
Blitz. Kamara. He sidesteps a tackle. First down inside the 30 of Cleveland. Field position for the Saints.
What's that?
On first down. Kamara's loose. Fighting to get across midfield. It's a first down at the 48 of Cleveland.
Hey, what's that?
Kamara for 2, and it's a slam dunk.
Again, this is just who is more dangerous.
Josh Hill is the tight end to the right. And Kamara with a big hole inside the 25. The pass to Thomas picked up 39.
Been held to 3 field goals so far in this game. Brees gets the ball over. Kamara. Look at Kamara go with a blocker out in front and down at the 20.
It's like the same 3 plays.
Up the middle. Kamara to the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Was he down? They got a side judge coming in and saying he was down just outside the goal line.
Second effort, maybe. We'll see here. I thought he was in just by the naked eye. Did you?
I think he might have had a knee. Breeze gives it to Kamara. He's got a huge opening. And he's able to get past the secondary and take off for his third touchdown of the game.
We talked about him gliding earlier. It didn't even look like he was running hard, and he was running away from everybody. And he just left. He said, goodbye, I'm going back to New Orleans. See you next week.
On first down, Kamara straight ahead. He's got a first down, and he's brought down at the 10-yard line of Baltimore. Good ball fake inside by Drew Brees. Quick snap. Kamara in a crowd and into the end zone for a touchdown, Saints. His sixth touchdown.
Out here.
Through the middle. Big hole for Kamara. Into Viking territory. Tackled by Harrison Smith. Come back and diving into the end zone goes Kamara for the touchdown.
Wow, what a turnaround here at the end of the half.
And on 2nd and 8, toss to Kamara. Blocking in front. Tiptoes. Touchdown. What a drive by the Saints to start the day. Third down and 8. Breeze has a man. That's Kamara. He's got another. Number 1 in the league. They've added one. They've added another. Kamara's got his second rush. His third touchdown of the half. And the Saints are 5 for 5 in the red zone.
Really seamlessly.
That was his 7th snap from scrimmage on offense. Here's Kamara with a hurdle. And a first down at the 41. Went over LaMarcus Joyner.
With the umpire as Kevin Huber pleaded his case.
Here's Kamara on the jet sweep. Good blocking. Kamara first down. So a good call by Tony Corrente. He explained that.
And turn the ball right back over to this offense.
Breeze going quick. Handing off Kamara. Left side. Kamara. Touchdown. His 10th rushing touchdown of the year, and it's 20-7. Breeze, 4-man rush with Todd Kamara. First down. Alvin Kamara breaking tackles, spinning his way down to the 25-yard line. Is Kamara. Another spectacular play and a gain of 21. Breeze is back at quarterback. 2nd and goal. Flip it to Kamara. Sprinting to the edge. Touchdown. New Orleans. 2nd of the day for Alvin Kamara.
What a turnaround in Cleveland so far.
Kamara running right. Kamara inside the 5 and a 1st and goal for New Orleans.
Play clock at 2. Saints go for it. Kamara down the sideline. What a throw. Another touchdown. And just
7-3 Taysom Hill back on the field as his third drive begins from the 25. Alvin Kamara, big run to start the game. 13 here on this carry before Jordan Richards makes the tackle. He was the offensive.
His offense has got to respond with a score here.
2nd down and 6 from the Bucs. 15 as Breeze swings it out. Kamara stumbling as he made the catch. Austin Carr in motion. The toss to Kamara. He turns the corner and he is in. 2-point conversion successful. The New Orleans Saints.
Carolina next week in Pittsburgh and Carolina. Yes, those games matter, but it's all about playoffs for this team.
3rd down and 10. On the screen, it is Kamara, and he will pick up a first down. A huge play as we approach 5 minutes on the clock. Getting pulled. Huge day for Saquon Barkley. This is Kamara. And Kamara using a block from Austin Carr. Picks up another Saints first down.
Here's Kamara as he catches a seam and finally forced out after the long return. Saints with some offensive momentum. Kamara hits the gas pedal and gets in. A 16-yard touchdown, Alvin Kamara.
And what a play right now. Quarterback sneak.
Kamara on the pitch. Trying to cut back, and he gets it. Kamara breaking free, touchdown.
And now you got to get out of bounds, or you're going to get up and clock it, but you got to get in field goal range if you're going to clock it.
It's Kamara. Will he get out? Tiptoeing it out of it. What a run. My goodness.
They got to get off to a good start here in the second half. Just like the first half.
Over to Kamara. And look at him again. Slipped right past the tackler and raced down the sideline. He just turns on the afterburners when he senses or feels someone's right around him, ready to make a tackle. About halfway.
You don't run the play for it. You just got to hand it.
Up top and in for the touchdown.
Down two starters. Fletcher Cox with a foot injury. We're told questionable return. And Rasul Douglas, the starting corner. Kamara right where Fletcher Cox would be for a first down for the Saints. Alvin Kamara picks up 13. 58 in pregame warm-up. So you're talking about getting down to the other 40-yard line. They're almost there. Breeze, pressure, stands, and there's Kamara. First catch of the day, a big one. Stays on his feet inside the 40, all the way down to the 32. From these yardages on this drive alone. Here's Breeze to Kamara. Big hole. Alvin Kamara sprinting inside the 5, and he's knocked out of bounds at the first down marker. It should be a first and goal. Vontae Maddox, so Hawkins in for him. Now Maddox is back, and that's a huge pickup. Kamara, what a cut on a dime. First down, New Orleans. Just so good at running clock when they have the lead, and now they're looking for another score. Clock down at 2. They will run it. Kamara, big hole, and Kamara, and that will do it.
Breeze floats it past. What a beauty. Kamara with a first down.
Ingram had quicker feet. They're going to miss Mark Ingram in this offense.
There's Breeze with time and in stride. Here he goes. Alvin Kamara. And that is exactly what he can do. Heat up on a moment's notice. 41 yards for number 41.
Spent time with a family in Egypt. They didn't know who he was. So I loved it. They had to Google me.
Here's Breeze as he's able to get rid of it. And Kamara is able to spin free. Alvin Kamara with the extra effort there for 11 yards. There's a delay here. As Kamara able to cut back in. There's that balance we talk about as he's still going out past the 45-yard line. My, oh my, is he something. Completed passes on 7 of his last 8. Rams have taken charge. See if the Saints can come up with an answer. A helmet goes rolling downfield.
You need one of those plays to create points here.
2nd and 10. Setting up a screen. Kamara, blockers in front, inside the 20. Breaks a tackle, and he steps in for the touchdown. Before the half that eventually led to the touchdown to Kamara, who will get the handle and race up the middle and take Seahawks with him.
You got to get everyone down in there to shut the run down in the play action game.
You dump it off Kamara. Quick contact. Can't bring him down. There he comes out of the pack. And gets near the first. Got a first down with a couple yards to spare. There he is, Kamara. Touchdown, New Orleans.
You're right there. Just hand it to him. He's not going to get a yard.
That's how you call him.
43-yard line. Handed off inside. Usual and exploited by Kamara.
With high expectations, and if they lose that starting quarterback, they don't have it there.
On 3rd and 3. Wow. Kamara, first down. Gliding inside the 15 of Tampa Bay. Alvin Kamara trying to make something out of nothing. He goes the other way. Kamara with a first down and in.
Stuck at 3rd and 22. Little screen for Kamara. Kamara with running room and out to midfield.
2.5 sacks today. He had 3 on the year. He's a heck of a player. Here's Kamara making people miss, and Kamara gets a good chunk back all the way across the 40. And now makes it a 3rd down and short after a 2nd and 19.
For whatever reason, this division, you just don't know what's going to happen when they get together 1 week to the next. Kamara out of the backfield, slips 1 tackle, and on his feet all the way up to the 42-yard line.
Those are the hidden yards.
Play clock down to 1. They just did get it off, and back in the hands of Kamara yet again in another big game. Kamara on the pitch, able to turn the corner, and a flag comes down as he is run out of bounds.
Usually plays special teams. Kamara takes off. Kamara to the 10 and down to the 40-yard line. Now to 26 seconds. Kamara all the way down to the 24.
Clock in the head going quicker with the new left side of the line, and Kamara with speed through the defense into the secondary.
He joins defensive end D. Ford, who aggravated the same hamstring that kept him out a couple of games. Ford is questionable as well.
Meanwhile, Kamara with a highlight run, leaping over people.
And Kamara with a big hole there.
5 shy of matching Marvin Harrison's all-time record. On 2nd down, it's Kamara. They keep it on the ground and will let the clock run out. Play clock winding down. The handoff to Alvin Kamara. He's inside the 20, and Kamara is in for a Saints touchdown. 40 yards. His first score since week 3. From the 1. It's Kamara again, no doubt about it this time.
Good old-fashioned power football right there. It's been a big factor in their losing streak.
There's Kamara up the middle, inside the 10, the 5 to the end zone, touchdown.
That comes at you fast if you're the Carolina Panthers now.
Second down and 12 off the fake to Kamara. Breeze sets up the screen, finds Kamara, and Alvin Kamara has another Saints first down to the Carolina 31-yard line at the Carolina 1. Breeze hands it off to Kamara, and he is in for his 2nd touchdown today and 4th in the last 2 games.
I think
outstanding. Here's Kamara on the toss for the touchdown. When you're playing alongside Vita Vea and then Ndamukong Suh. Breeze has been looking for Cook on 3rd down so far. Here it's Kamara for the touchdown. Here is Kamara. He's got his 2nd. Have him take some of the load off of him in the run game. How about a double pass? Hill, Kamara, a juggle, going for the end zone. He's going to get knocked down inside the
holding penalty on Jonathan Hankins of the Raiders. Moves the football out to the 30. And on the ground, here's Kamara. He's got first down yardage. Michael Burton, the fullback, is in. That's Josh Hill in motion. Here's Kamara, and he will skip into the end zone. Touchdown. And doing something with Levy's, believe it or not, for next week. We'll see. Here's Breeze for Kamara out of the backfield. Past the 30 and knocked out at the 40. And the Saints have not figured out how to cover him. Not yet, anyway. Here's Breeze on 1st down and 10 underneath the Kamara. Trying to run away from people and doing a good job of it. All the way out to the 45-yard line. Down 2 scores. Time is of the essence here. Again, with only 1 timeout. Kamara into the end zone.
The 33, it is Kamara. Good move left. Big space. Kamara on the run. It's a foot race with Kamara down the sideline. All the way to the 18. Groin injury, missing his 2nd game. You see Clark, such a big factor inside. 2nd and 3, Breeze. Kamara out of the backfield. Alvin Kamara reaches out at the goal line. Touchdown, New Orleans. 3rd and 15. Let's see if this goes downfield. Breeze. It's Kamara out of the backfield. Made a man miss, and Kamara is going to get there. Alvin Kamara. And signals by Breeze. Gets the play off in time. And it's complete. Kamara, 1st down. And Kamara inside the 20.
That's been such a great package, and it's just not working tonight.
Breeze looked deep, covered, comes back. Kamara made a man miss. Alvin Kamara across midfield, still on his feet. Kamara's got a bunch of room and some blockers. Hurdling a blocker at the 25. Inside the 50. What a run by Kamara, who's all the way in for a touchdown.
Breeze fires downfield with the catch was made by Kamara. On 4th down. 1st and goal from the 1. It is Kamara who takes it in for his 7th touchdown in 4 games this season.
The way he attacks the game.
2nd and 4. It's Kamara. A 1st down to the Lions 18.
I go right back to it. Put the pressure right back on Nasir Adderley at free safety with 2 seam routes.
1st down and 10. Here's Breeze, sideline. Kamara juggled and caught.
Kamara the single back. He'll get the carry, and Kamara with a 1st down and more. Nice jump cut. Kamara down the sideline and out of bounds. All 3 penalties in this game have been defensive holds. That one a 1st down, and a big opening up the middle for Kamara. Cuts to the outside, and Kamara finally caught at the 42 by number 42, Sam Franklin. Breeze the swing to Kamara. And Kamara finds a little more room than he expected down to the 4-yard line. Remember, no timeouts. 5-man rush. They set up the screen to Kamara. Kamara has the 1st down. And Kamara out of bounds at the 41 in the arms of Trey Boston. Other than Jim Kelly and Terry Bradshaw were baseball players, most shortstops. 3rd and 14. Kamara able to get free up the sideline, and Kamara close to the 1st down, and I think he's got it.
Slipping is not okay, and he doesn't want to see any of that here this afternoon.
Doesn't matter. Kamara gets a 1st down and more. Alvin Kamara inside the 25 to the 21.
They're going to need him here in this game to handle that inside running game.
2nd down and 8. Breeze fires. That's Kamara, middle of the field, and off he goes. Alvin Kamara brought down by Jackson after tight formation. Toss to Kamara, and Alvin Kamara shows his wheels and takes it out of bounds inside the 15.
Bring the fullback in. You got Kamara. Alvin seeks the end zone, and he's in there.
Breeze back in on 3rd and 1. Pitching it out to Kamara. Jumping towards the goal line and in for the touchdown. Setting up the screen for Kamara. There's the cut and the burst from Alvin Kamara. Into the red zone go the Saints. Kamara is in. Kamara's got it. Kamara pounds ahead for the touchdown.
Hill going to give Kamara bouncing all the way in for the touchdown. Falcons have 157 total yards this week. In today's NFL, that's unreal. Here's Kamara. Big hole and a bigger run for Alvin Kamara, who's got 12 on first down.
And no Armstead, no Pete on the left side today. Here is Kamara with a burst and a first down. Gets upended by Kareem Jackson at the 20.
Offensive, the special teams got to have to help him out.
Kamara on first down, broke a tackle, and picks up a first down and much, much more. Down the sideline, finally knocked out of bounds in Falcons territory. Ground for Kamara. Tommy Lee Lewis in motion from the 11-yard line on first down. It is Kamara, and he takes it in for a Saints touchdown.
A lot of people around him from the Eagles organization.
Little pitch, Kamara trying to get to the edge, gets a block, and he'll walk in for the touchdown.
3 points by the opposition in the last 2 minutes of the first half. Over to Kamara. Kamara. Monday morning quarterback, you'll find it. So we've got to give it that. Here's Kamara. Kamara takes it in for the touchdown.
Kamara gets it, and right up the gut, he is gone. Touchdown, Saints. Got to be the shoes.
And you bet that Sean Payton's going to take advantage of that.
Kamara, touchdown. Should be ready for the playoffs, they say. Kamara cuts upfield, and touchdown, Saints. From the 23, Kamara spins his way, still going, and down at the 6.
The offensive line getting some movement and just some really tough running.
Kamara again, how about 4? Touchdown, Saints. Kamara looking for 5. He's got it, touchdown, Saints. Kamara in at tailback. He's got 5 rushing touchdowns. And now 6. Tied for the most all time. The Hall of Famer Ernie Nevers, the only other in NFL history to do it, and that happened in 1929. Alvin Kamara with 6.
They kind of know the same thing. He's going to have an opportunity right here.
That was Kamara for the touchdown.
New Orleans is as deep a team in the National Football League. Kansas City's the standard, right? The champs, they're the #1.
Exposing himself, and he runs it there for the first down.
Kamara on first down, breaks loose, spins to the 35. Good protection again, pass is caught, and we'll see what they give him. Looked like he got it.
So they've been on the field a lot already.
6 first downs on this drive. Little push pass to Kamara. He is in for the touchdown. Every statistic telling a grim tale for the Packers. Here's Kamara. Out of bounds inside the 10.
Winston and company begin from the 25 on first down. A check down toss. This is Kamara, so dangerous once he gets into that kind of space and going downhill. Excellent drive starter for the Saints. He picks up 20. Back to the ground game. Kamara shot out of the cannon, and he's in. Touchdown. Winston faking. Kamara, first down and more. He's in. Touchdown. 19 yards on the catch and run. And the Saints punch back.
James Hurst is in there as well. Extra offensive lineman. Set it up for Kamara. Got some green in front of him now. Making some people miss. That was the first third down conversion of the night by either team. They had been 0 for 10. Kamara clearing across the middle. What a run. Winston fumbled the snap. Now picks it up and throws for Kamara. And he's going to get there.
They're getting penalized.
3rd and 10. They run it to Kamara and he gets it.
A flip to Kamara. He juggles it. He races for the corner and walks in.
Has everyone buying into it.
Here's Kamara across midfield for the Falcons 42. Empty backfield for the Saints. 2nd down and 10. Simeon with time to the near side for Kamara. Down the sideline. He stays in bounds and is now down at the 30-yard line. Simeon handing it off to Kamara. And Alvin Kamara takes it in for a Saints touchdown.
Nice job right there.
Kamara again. Nice cutback inside the 10. Kamara gets in. What a run and a touchdown for Alvin Kamara.
But he's one of the finest young free safeties in the entire NFL.
Need the 30 to convert this 3rd down. Here's Kamara. Really close. Got 19.
Kamara, the back out of Tennessee. This time, Hill's going to go to him in the pass game. He's so prolific in the pass game. He got a lot of room here, staying on his feet across midfield. Light symptoms, but he did have them, but feeling better and off the protocol this week. And firing a strike in there. Well, there's the arm, and there's Kamara again.
There's a shotgun. They're getting the ball to him.
Undrafted free agent out of South Carolina, was with Denver the preseason before being released. Now Kamara finally breaks one. Staying on his feet down near the 20. Long run of the game for Alvin Kamara, and it came at a pretty good time for the Saints.
Kamara over the left side, breaks a tackle, and Kamara shifting the football into his right hand with room to run and a stiff arm as he's tossed out of bounds. On 3rd and 1, it's Kamara. Oh, nifty footwork to find the opening and get the 1st down. 2nd and 6, Kamara the carry, bouncing off a tackle. Kamara into the secondary and down.
Mixing up run and pass. Let's see what they do now.
4 sacks for the Falcons defense. Kamara, big hole up the middle, a 1st down. And they finally bring him down.
Picked up 5 yards on the box snap. This time it's Kamara cutting it up inside. Kamara has some room. Out past the 40. And this is why they miss him so much.
And remember, no Michael Thomas, out again with a toe injury. Jarvis Landry out as well, but they've got this man back. And he has been running strong, this time out near midfield with a gain of 13.
I see the same thing you do. I can just get there. That's Kamara.
Well, Kamara's back in there, and they set up the screen for him. He's got a convoy, and he's across midfield and into open space. Eventually tracked out of bounds by Kobe Bryant.
You're entirely welcome. Kamara breaks it outside, finds running room, has 1st down yardage, and down the sideline. Baby, stop. Back to the ground game, and Kamara trying to break it outside, and he does. 25, 20-yard line and brought down.
Kamara, the running back, bunch 3 receivers and then break that. Give it to Kamara. Big hole. He exploits it as he normally does. Good, tough running as he normally does. Out to the 50-yard line, tackle there by Buda Baker. So off he goes for a gain of 18.
They've been facing goal-to-goal situations 12 times this year, and they've allowed 12 touchdowns.
Dalton to Kamara. Kamara takes it and a touchdown. They just ruled it. A touchdown. Alvin Kamara from 3 yards away. And the Saints have taken the 1st lead. 1st and 15, Dalton. It's Kamara. Oh, he's going to take it in. He lunged
Touchdown! Touchdown, Kamara! First possession of the second half. Andy Dalton, 16-23. It's Kamara with room to roam. Here he goes. He breaks the tackle coming in from Harmon and scores for the third time today. 36-yard catch and run, Alvin Kamara.
Everybody chill out. Arthur Blank, I love you. I love the Falcons. You know what? When the Falcons show up, I'll be there. I'm backtracking now.
And they have struggled when T.J. Watt's been out of the lineup. Taysom Hill takes the snap. Watt hit him, but he gave it to Kamara, and he's got a first down with a punishing run of his own.
Getting in and out of breaks and giving your quarterback a wide-open target.
They give it to Kamara on the jet sweep, and a first down for Alvin Kamara. Fresh set of downs. It's Kamara again, and Alvin Kamara with another first down.
8 guys within 8 yards of the box.
Kamara, first down Saints. Kamara looking for more. Ducks inside Browns territory.
And he really has developed into the player that they hoped and thought he could become.
Back to the ground game with Kamara. Bounces off a would-be tackler, and he's in for the Saints touchdown. The New Orleans Saints, back from 10 down, have scored 16 straight and have taken their first lead of the day. Down in New Orleans.
Well, can Myles Garrett get home and make a play? We haven't heard much from him today.
Dalton from the gun on 3rd and 4. Over the middle, he finds Kamara. A lot of green grass in front of him. Huge play for the Saints.
Whether it's man or the match type zones that they run here in Philadelphia, it's going to be beneficial.
Draw play for Alvin Kamara. And it doesn't matter what they're calling, they're finding success. A game where you turn it over 4 times. This one makes you go, a little more. Alvin Kamara to the outside and uses his speed to get 16 yards.
3rd down and 1. Out of the eye, the Saints will run it, and this is a burst for Kamara to the 39. Woods with the tackle from the safety spot. 3rd and 1. Kamara to the outside. First down and then some. Breaking a tackle. Alvin Kamara to the 45 in Panther real estate.
They're just intimidated by the speed of those receivers.
Especially Shaheed and Alave as Kamara shakes off an ankle tackle, and he's going to fight to get a first down to the 32 of the Buccaneers.
3rd and goal. Kamara in, slicing for 6. 13-0 New Orleans.
Anytime you're going to be able to create that kind of pressure, it's hard to push the ball down the football field.
Kamara, big hole inside the 40 of Houston.
But to get it back after they create a 3-and-out for Jacksonville. Now Carr throws over the middle, open, making the grab there. With a lot of room to roam. A lot of room to roam for Kamara. Picks up the first down. 4th and 3. Gets it away. First down. Just before he gets hit, Kamara makes the catch and picks up the first down. 1 for 2 on 4th down. Going for it. And they get it, and they get a lot more in Kamara to the 35-yard line. Jamal Williams, the running back. There's Hill in the stack. You got Kamara now coming to the inside in the slot. They go to Kamara. Tie game.
Saints in the red zone. It's been a struggle all year. Carr, short. Kamara inside the 10, inside the 5, lunging for the touchdown. That'll fix your red zone woes. Get it into the hands of Alvin Kamara. 18 yards out, and the Saints are on the board. Blake Groupie was hitting from 60 yards each side of the field in warm-up, so they're in Groupie range right now. Carr checks it short. Kamara with speed up the sideline. Kamara inside the 20 and down to the 16-yard line. Jalen Jones finished him off there.
Giving it up for his team, his entire body, everything he's got, laying it on the line.
2nd down and 10, fakes the screen. The give to Kamara up the middle. Kamara all the way in for a Saints touchdown. Rowing his way for 6.
A 16-yard gain right up the gut, and the Saints lead at 27-20.
Kamara on a screen. Trying to get past Ngakoue. He does. Picks up the first down and does not get out of bounds. Carr back in. Hand off Kamara. Right up the middle. Inside the 10. Still spinning his way to the 5. Oh, what a run by Kamara.
It's Kamara, and he pounds it home for 2. We've got a ball game again. Big 2-point conversion here to try to make it an 8-point game. It's Kamara again, and what do you know? We got a ball game in the Twin Cities.
The all-time greats at Colorado. Carr's back in on second down. He's got Kamara out of the backfield. Slipped away from Kaden Ellis and took it down the sideline into Falcons territory. Saints looking for the lead from the 35. Here's Alvin Kamara, waited for the hole to develop and hit it hard. First down inside the 20. Saints have not found the end zone today. They're scoring 4 field goals. Here's a screen for Kamara. Alvin Kamara inside the 30, keeps on going to the 25. He got 16. So first and goal at the 2. Kamara straight ahead for the Saints touchdown. Excellent drive to begin the second half for New Orleans. And the Saints, by the way, are 2 for 2 in the red zone today. On second and goal, 7.5 left. Kamara, he's in for the Saints touchdown. Tipped in the air and caught, set up a touchdown. It's Kamara on the ground. He's got a hole, and Alvin Kamara pushes his blocker, keeps the play alive, and keeps on turning. 17 yards for Kamara.
That guarantees you a home playoff game. At worst, you're going to be a number 4 seed.
Falcons trailing the Bucs 10-3. Here's Kamara running hard.
Running hard
all the way
indeed.
to the end zone. Touchdown.
The communication has been great today for the offense. That's why they've had so much success.
From the 35, Kamara on first down. Big hole out to midfield. Finally tackled by Pinnock. Second down and 10 for Carr and the Saints from midfield. Carr sets up the screen. It's Kamara. Makes a move. Picks up a first down and more.
Straight run, Kamara. He's in trouble in the backfield. Breaks the tackle. Kamara with a good run. Has a first down. And he's taken down at the 45. He got hit right away.
Quick handoff, Kamara. And Kamara inside the 10 to the 6. After a loss of 1, the pitch to Kamara. Gets a good block. And Alvin Kamara will get a first down inside the 35.
First time they draft him, they just put him over at left and say, you're going to live there.
Kamara has it. Gets a block. Alvin Kamara working his way inside the 5 and thrown out of bounds. I mean, as much as Kamara's carried it down here, they give it to him, and he stands up into the end zone for a Saints touchdown.
Here's Kamara running right side. Kamara surges in for the touchdown.
To be aggressive in these situations. Again, he doesn't want to be in third down much against this defense. He's going to try to gain it here on second down.
Pressure coming. They set up a screen. Oh, there's a lot of room. Alvin Kamara, room to roll. Alvin Kamara's going to score. Touchdown.
Wow.
Kamara, big hole, left side. Alvin Kamara sprinting towards the end zone. He is in. Touchdown, New Orleans. The 3rd for Kamara in this first half. Kamara looking for his 4th touchdown of the game. Stays on his feet. Alvin Kamara's got 4. What a drive by the Saints.
Uncharted territory for these Saints. Stay on the ground here with Kamara. Alvin Kamara with a big play of his own. He's tripped up near midfield. Today turned out to be exactly right. More than 2 decades as a DC in the NFL. Carr taking a shot for Kamara. Goes over Bond for the catch. Longest play of the day for the Saints. A gain of 26.
Hill shifts into the backfield, leading the way for Kamara on 2nd and 7. And Kamara picks up a first down. There's a flag in the defensive secondary. Bottom of your screen. 2nd and 10. They run it with Kamara. And he takes it inside the 10 for New Orleans. First down. All right, here we go. 3rd and goal. Kamara. He is in for a Saints touchdown.
Toss to Kamara. Well pursued, back the other way. Breaks the tackle. What a run. First down, New Orleans.
Kamara slicing through, and New Orleans regains the lead.
Derek Carr goes down in the first of those 3 games. Rattler's been asked to step in.
Kamara shakes loose and all the way up across the 40. Along with Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And Rattler will throw into a crowd, but Kamara comes out of there with it. And Alvin Kamara is down the sideline with plenty of blocking in front. Big play for the Saints. Right on top of things, that little cameo there with Carr as the Charger defense.
Oh, wow.
Breakout. Alvin Kamara running as if he were going to the bank with his contract.
Getting the ball out quick, knowing the right checks and the right reads.
But they go to Kamara right out of the gate, following the block of Taysom Hill, and Kamara has more than 10 yards. In fact, he has close to 20 yards on the first down run. The play clock at 1. Carr looking to throw. Pressure's coming. Carr, pockets collapsing. He gets away, dumps it off to Kamara. And Kamara's inside Panthers territory. He lost the ball when he went to the ground. Inside draw. Kamara. He got some of it back, not all of it. Xavier Woods makes the tackle.
First half today, 2 for 2, 107 and a touchdown.
Another throw. It's a screen. Kamara trying to get around that first guy. He does. Turns it into a big play. Alvin Kamara all the way down to the 16. The ball comes out, but he was down.
If that run game steps up for the Saints, Derek Carr is going to have a great game.
On 2nd and 10, it's Kamara, first down and more. Alvin Kamara takes it to the Browns' 36-yard line, a gain of 13.
He's going to be in what's called this big nickel to handle when Taysom Hill comes into the game.
Hill was in at fullback. Pass over the top. Kamara, first down and more. 2nd and 5, Kamara stays on his feet inside the 20. And finally dragged down by Ronnie Hickman.
Receptions, and then did something in the kickoff game as well.
The handoff to Alvin Kamara on first down. And he picks up a first.
Then you get into the personal stories, which are profound.
There's Kamara. Picks up a first down. On 2nd down, it's Kamara. First down and more. Into Rams territory.
Toss play, Kamara. Looking for the edge. He's got it inside the 10. First and goal, New Orleans. So 3rd and 18, it'll just be a draw play. Kamara breaking tackles, bursting forward, and Kamara.
2nd down and 11. Hader over the middle. Caught by Kamara for a first down and more. Into Commanders territory. 39 yards. Biggest play of the day for the Saints. And now Cedric Wilson fires across the field. Kamara makes the catch. Touchdown.